Hey everybody, it's Merlin here, kind of an impromptu live stream. No, I haven't done one of these in a while, and I was actually planning on it for a little bit, but yeah, I was thinking about doing another podcast tonight, but not enough people can make it, I guess, so I'll probably do that some other time. But hey, that gives me a chance to do this. I don't know if I'll be on super long, because I'm trying to get a slightly better sleep schedule, and I am feeling tired. But I have the day off tomorrow, so I figured I'd make use of some of this time and go over some news. And if enough people jump on, maybe you guys can start asking questions. But in the meantime, this is my one of my favorite parts because I have no viewers at the moment, so I could just kind of just make up random stuff. But all right, let's see what's going on. Let's check out first for weekly news. Let's go into the Anime News Network. It looks like the background is actually Digimon Adventure Try. It's kind of cool that Digimon's popularity is continuing to go super strong even after all these years. Articles, the numbers, the list of 7 superb anime moms. Let's see what they have to say. Because of Mother's Day weekend, they've got Kyoko Honda from Fruits Basket. Didn't watch a whole lot of Fruits Basket, but I've heard good things. I guess the mother from that one would be good. Chi-Chi from Dragon Ball Z. I could talk about that one. I think that I've always kind of wanted to do a video on Chi-Chi because she's one of the few characters I never really talked too in depth about. But I've always kind of felt that there are certain Dragon Ball characters that over the years have gotten kind of a bad rap, and Chi-Chi is one that I think everybody hates on. Everybody hates on her, but I honestly really respect her. I think that she is really just doing her best to raise her son, against these ridiculous circumstances, because it's really understandable that she would fear for her son's life. I mean, her husband usually is capable of taking care of things, so dragging Gohan into it, I can understand her perspective. And yeah, obviously she's shown as being kind of annoying and naggy, but it is mostly for comedy because I think that one of the main reasons why everybody's afraid of her is because they know she's in the right. But I think she's a very good mother, actually, and she's also pretty tough, too. Never got to see her fight too much beyond the original show, but, Chi-Chi's pretty awesome. I could appreciate that. I think I should do a video on Chi-Chi. She's pretty cool. Milia Falna from Macross. I actually haven't watched any Macross. Of course, Naruto's mom. That was one of the more heartfelt aspects of Naruto. I could definitely see that. I think it's more for the aspect of the episode when she was first introduced, probably, but that's a good one. Ooh, another one. Azumi Curtis from Fullmetal Alchemist. I guess they're kind of playing fast and loose there, but in terms of, surrogate mothers and just mothers that I guess sort of an adopted mother, a mother figure, she took the place of their mom because obviously she died. Yeah, she's tough. Definitely, I always thought of her more of as a teacher, but mother definitely is for sure. Cool with that. Azumi is awesome. Another great female character from anime. Chick from Clannad. Didn't watch that. Carla Yeager from Attack on Titan. Even in this paragraph, they say they don't see much of her. She was in like one episode. She got eaten. Okay, no. Maybe her impact's important, but beyond that, that's no. No. Attack on Titan's been pretty good, actually. I've been watching that more again. Let's see. Is sushi authentic? Let's see. Anything I know about. Digidestin return after 15 years. Okay, Digimon comes back again. Okay. Fruits Basket, we were just talking about that, gets its Blu-ray disc release, first ever for the U.S., so that's pretty cool for Fruits Basket fans. Check that out. Let's see here. My Hero Academia has been going strong. People have been liking that. There's some new Resident Evil weird game. What? I don't know what that is. That's really weird. Let's see. Kochikami creator draws Denzel Washington to collab illustration. Oh, he's thinking about publishing a Civil War Western manga, Black Tiger, with Denzel's inspiration. That's cool. Let's see here. Kids on the Slope get some more stuff. Wait. Gravity Rush 2. Yeah. Detective Conan films. The film is #2 at the box office, so that's the 21st movie, so it's still got a fan base. Makes sense. Conan's just never going away. It's one of those series that just keeps on going. One Piece Unlimited World Red Sea for PS4. New promo was streamed recently. I don't think too many of the One Piece games have really gotten super high reviews, but still, probably get some fans for that, I'm sure. Episode 90 for Super. The 10-man team has finally been assembled for the Tournament of Power, so it took a while, but oh, no, wait. The recruitment arc is going to continue going for some time. Well, I mean, it wouldn't be Dragon Ball if they didn't, drag things out a little bit. Forgive me. Yeah, but Dragon Ball Super has been pretty good. I got to catch up on it, though. I'm actually just kind of waiting for the tournament to start. It's kind of when I want to start watching it. And I know I'm always begging for more plot, but if they're not really going to expand much and make the plot interesting, might as well just wait for the fights, because that's the most interesting stuff's going to happen, most likely. Yeah, Attack on Titan, the most recent episode, of course. Yeah. Oh, Berserk episode 19. Let's see. Kind of a messy episode, apparently. Haven't really been watching too much of that, unfortunately. Sailor Moon new smartphone case in China. Woo. Your Lie in April gets a stage play. Cool. And I heard Inuyasha's getting a live stage performance too. So that's, I think they've been doing those in the past, but a lot of anime series have been getting these stage plays. So that's cool. I think that's all I really see for stuff I know about right now. Let's see. We'll go on to movies here. Let's see if there's actually anybody in here. Let me go into my thing. One viewer. So, hey, how you doing? Feel free to send in questions and like and spread the video around for sure. Let's see. In the meantime, I'm going to keep looking into stuff here. War of Planet of the Apes is going to be the end of the trilogy. Well, I don't know. Those movies have been making a lot of money. They've been very successful, so I kind of feel like they could keep pumping them out. I'm actually not that excited for the new Planet of the Apes. I mean, I think that they're well-made movies, and I am a big fan of the franchise, but I don't know. I just am not that hyped for it, honestly. Let's see. Michael Fassbender may return to the X-Men series as Magneto. Okay, well, that's cool. I mean, I'm hoping, because the reboot for X-Men is pretty much with the younger cast, so I hope so. Let's see. Aquaman's film's got a Power Rangers star in it now. Wonderful. There's an article about asking Marvel to save Fantastic Four, but I mean, I know there's fans for it, but does anybody really care at this point? I don't know. I just don't think that. I mean, I'd love to see Marvel do it and do it well, because they seem to do just about everything really well. So it would be really good to see them do a Fantastic Four. Mostly, we just want to see Doom, but otherwise, there's so much good stuff coming from Marvel. I don't think we really need to worry too much about the Fantastic Four right now. There was a new King Arthur movie, that I, Merlin, should be seeing soon, hopefully. Apparently didn't do very well, but I'm still going to check it out. Who knows? I might like it. I think it's got the guy from Sons of Anarchy in it. He's usually pretty good. God, Quantico's still going on. Let's see. Yep, Doctor Who. The last couple episodes I saw that were pretty good. I know Capaldi's leaving soon, which is a shame, because I really think the season has been strong. Other than the first one I witnessed him being in, so that's something. Let's see here. Oh yeah, Alien Covenant comes out soon. I think it's been getting pretty good reviews. I'm definitely going to be checking out the new Alien, because I got to do that. Let's see. Let's move on here. Oh, Injustice 2 came out pretty soon, or I think it's about to. I think people are really loving the storyline for that. There's apparently some good twists. But then again, they're revealing the twists everywhere, so that's kind of sabotage some things. But I know that's the big buzz right now. Everybody's into that. Let's see. Man, people talking about Gotham still. Oh, I don't know why that show's still on. The Wonder Woman animated movie got looks like a new HD and Blu-ray re-release. So if you're a fan of that one, check that one out. Let's see. Yep, they're reviewing Dragon Ball Super on here too. Surprisingly, IGN does not. IGN's website is like only like the Surge and Injustice 2 is like the only stuff that's on here about specific games. Everything else is movie or TV stuff. That's pretty bad. It's pretty bad. Well, let's see. Twin Peaks is coming back soon. That should be pretty awesome. I don't have Showtime, but hopefully I'll be able to catch up on that pretty soon. I'm a pretty big Twin Peaks fan, and apparently they're releasing some tie-in comics on Comic Vine. That's what they're saying. They're doing an introduction article here about who Adam Warlock is. People are interested. Last saw Guardians of the Galaxy, so you know Adam Warlock is pretty important to defeating Thanos in that one big comic in the early '90s, the Infinity Gauntlet. So that's pretty cool. Watchmen and DC Universe crossover continues in the Doomsday Clock. Yeah, I heard about that. That's like a new thing that's going on right now. Archie Comics and booming, I guess, because of Riverdale. I'm going to take a drink of water here. Oh, Batman's got the button. That's pretty cool, actually. I know that they're kind of roughly connected. So that makes sense. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. shocking stuff. Batman goes metal. All right, let me click on this. What is this? (2011) DC Comics relaunched the line New 52. Scott Snyder. Dark Knight's metal. He's got like axes. Okay, it's related to Court of Owls. Okay, so that could be a sequel. So if that's yep, Scott Snyder is coming back. I think with is Greg Capullo the original artist. I think yep. So that team that brought back the Court of Owls storyline is coming back to do something else. So I don't know why it's called metal, but I'm just picturing Batman with like a guitar just rocking out. That'd be pretty great. Yeah. So that's that. Let's see. I guess that's pretty much all I got for news. It's Crazy Boy 190. It's been a while. Yeah, Detective Conan started, but looks like it's still going. Alan Knox. I wonder if we'll ever achieve the power of creating interactive fiction in a nanosecond of our much older selves. Like, what? Like, will that relative ease of creating fiction ever happen? You mean like, can we imagine it and make it real? With technology continuing to grow, I feel like that's not impossible, but it sounds to me like we're not at a level of creating anything like that anytime soon. But it's possible. Yeah, but yeah, guys, please feel free to send in questions and like this, share it, spread it around. I guess I'll probably share it too while I'm at it. See if I can get some people. Streaming. Just share it everywhere. I know it's kind of like early, late Monday night, early Tuesday. I'm sure that everybody else is asleep, and I'm kind of tired too at this point. But I might as well do it. Let's see, what should this be? And I guess I'll put this in podcast and get it up on the good old Twitter here. Maybe I'll see if I can get other people in here if anybody's around. We shall see. I don't think I've really been doing this too long here. But yeah, as far as creating fiction instantaneously, that would be awesome. But I don't know if we're quite that level yet. I feel like people have the ability to just kind of create their own fiction like that. I mean, there wouldn't be any need for anybody to provide any kind of entertainment. Maybe the graphics capability, like you can kind of imagine it and then you project it like into a screen or in a field, and you're just kind of there, like the ultimate form of self-perpetuating alternate reality. Yeah, that'd be kind of awesome, but I think it would also be kind of trippy too. It could be potentially dangerous. Everybody's kind of hooked in. A lot of good science fiction has been written about that. As It Extends, by David Cronenberg, I believe, is a good one to check out about kind of the biological hook into the game. But even that I think is pre-designed. So you're talking about like creating your own stuff without it being preset. I think that would be, that'd be intense. All right, let me see if I can spread this around. I guess I'll put this up in the Facebook Merlin the Mighty group. Let's see here. put it in the Fandom group, see if I can get my buddies on there. If anybody wants to join in. Let's see here. Stream. Got a good picture of myself going, my buddy Dan from former Film Fanatics kind of posted and did some movie reviews. He talked about the Ghost of the Shell live action movie, which I thought was okay. I reviewed it with my friend Nick, and we actually thought it was all right. I mean, I know a lot of people hated on it. It didn't do very well, but you know, it happens. Oh man, I don't know. I guess put that in. Go to the Merlin the Mighty Facebook page too. Might as well get it over here. Since I am sending stuff over, feel free to send in questions. Like I said, like, share it around. That way, I mean, I could probably come up with some stuff to talk about for a little bit, but much feedback I get from this will determine how late I'll be going. Yeah, I heard McWhirlpool Inc. Isn't doing YouTube anymore. He deleted his account today. I remember I did a video saying goodbye to him, like when he did that, like a year ago. He took like a break or something. But no, I understand. Sometimes you gotta move on. You gotta pursue different things. Yeah, but there's that. I'm gonna there. Okay. I need to watch 90 Sailor Moon. The manga is mediocre best. I've never actually read much of the Sailor Moon manga. I had a couple volumes, but I just watched the anime back in the day. Yeah, please, guys, send some requests. I shared it on Facebook and Twitter and everything. So please, like it, share it, tell people about it. Please get people in here. But yeah, think of stuff to say, guys. I'm just gonna, in the meantime, just go over some general topics. I don't know. I've really been itching to. I think it was Nicholas Bodo. I think one of my subscribers has been bugging me for a while to do videos on Trigun, and I kind of explained recently that I've just not had a lot of time or energy to do a lot of my anime character analysis, but I want to go back, and I've decided that when I do that, I'm going to do a couple videos on Trigun because it's been heavily requested. But yeah, just in general, it's kind of been on my mind. Trigun really is one of those classics, and I think that in comparison to Kenshin, actually, there's always those two series that are compared as the whole peaceful warrior concept. It's something that is kind of hard to pull off, but those are two series where it really was. And you've got one that's kind of obviously a little more realistic, set in the samurai setting, versus this kind of futuristic gunslinger Western vibe too. But I think Trigun as a series is one that I always I remember. It's funny. I had a friend that was really recommending it to me years ago, and he kept saying, "Man, you gotta watch Trigun. You gotta watch Trigun." And I was like, okay, and I watched a couple episodes of it, and I remember just not being that into it. I thought, because the first half, or maybe the first third rather, of the series is just these kind of episodic episodes that are mostly kind of comedic, and they aren't bad. They aren't bad, but when you have a series that's just been kind of hyped up and purported to be the best thing ever and this massive classic, and then you watch it and you're like, it's kind of meh. It's just it's rough. But once you get past I think episode 8 or 9, it gets much better. I think the main plot of Trigun is awesome, and I'm definitely going to talk about that a little more. Can't even get through 12-episode anime anymore. I have to be honest. I honestly, Attack on Titan, I actually came up again, and that kind of did interest me. And I've been kind of keeping up with Dragon Ball Super. Lately, that's pretty much it. But yeah, as far as new shows go, I mean, if I could sit down and have the time, I would. I know there's a lot of stuff out there, but you can't get through the episodes anymore. Is that because you think the shows aren't as good, or you're just not interested, or what's up? Yeah, but Trigun getting the Brotherhood treatment. I mean, some more updated animation might not be so bad. I would say Uh, I don't know. I think a lot of people bring up Kenshin to get the whole, updated, flashy reboot, and I'm not really even sure that they necessarily need that because Trigun had a pretty solid ending. I mean, I think if you could cut out a couple episodes there at the beginning, I think it would be perfectly fine. But Brotherhood treatment, I think maybe a remastered one would be fine. Maybe do a new one, but I think Trigun solidified enough that people don't really necessarily need a whole new version. But I don't know. I think it'd be fine, but I'll probably talk a little more about Trigun later. Let's see. What else did I have to talk about here? Just in general, I don't know. I don't know what it is. I've just kind of been more of a general Star Wars mood lately. And I don't know where that came from. Star Wars and I have had sort of a weird relationship because, obviously I grew up with Star Wars and I really, really did enjoy it quite a bit. But, you know, it, uh, I guess the fandom kind of became a little overwhelming after a while. Like you saw Star Wars everywhere. And I guess that kind of brought it down a little bit for me. Uh, oh, you're watching JoJo? Yeah, you could go back and watch it again though if you want to watch some of the older episodes. Yeah, JoJo is pretty good though. Actually, that's another one that I've been kind of keeping up with. But yeah, as far as the Star Wars stuff goes, nowadays it's like it's just everywhere now. And I'm not as hyped about the movies as much as I used to be, but I don't know. Just the general universe is kind of interesting me. Uh, you think it's too big too? Yeah, I mean, it was always kind of big. It was always there. Like even when the movies were gone, you had tons of video games, comics, and the cartoon series. But now it's like I remember. I think the line was crossed for me. Like it's interesting with Star Wars because it's so popular and people do like it. I think it's probably the most all-encompassing fandom because it seems like just about everybody likes it. Like really to some degree, and people eat it up. And it's I don't think it's something like Transformers where the brand kind of is completely immune to what the critics say. But Star Wars, I feel like people would just go to see anything. And I was saying, I think the line for the marketing was crossed for me. I remember when they were promoting The Force Awakens, and they had the Star Wars oranges, and it was literally just oranges. They're just oranges, and the packaging just had like a Death Star. So I guess the kids were like, look, it's a Death Star, and get to eat it. Like, oh, like that's really pushing it. You can charge people extra for oranges just because it's a Star Wars branded orange. Like that's the stuff I'm talking about. That it's kind of the outside aspects of the real world marketing Star Wars that kind of make it less interesting for me. But there's a lot of cool stuff though. I'm probably going to talk more about that to some degree. Let me see here. What else did I have to talk about? I'm going to actually be putting an article out that I posted. I didn't post yet. I'm got to go back and just edit a little bit. But I recently watched finally the Full Metal Alchemist movie, Secret Star of Milos. And I have to say, it's like the one thing I didn't watch from Full Metal Alchemist after all these years, so I was kind of behind on that. And no one had ever really talked to me about it, though. No one ever said you had to see it. It never came up. It never comes up. No one talks about it. And I was like, all right, well, I remember it came out, seemed cool, but then literally no one talks about it. And so I watched it, and I was like, it was all right. I kind of wrote a little bit more about it. I'll probably put the article in the Facebook page. But if you guys want to check that out at merlinthemighty.com, you can go to my blog and look at it there. But basically, I was like, it's really beautifully animated. I think the action scenes were cool, even though I think it was a different studio that did it. But basically, it's just like Full Metal Alchemist 101 or Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood 101. You got, somebody going after the stone. You got the political turmoil. You got the different nations, and you got the people wiping out other people. You got, and you got, of course, Ed and Al kind of guest starring in someone else's story. So that was that. But and it was kind of confusing because they had like all these different backstories that kept coming up and all these different characters that were just kind of briefly introduced, but they weren't really that well established. And but once you got about halfway to the movie, it actually got a little more interesting finally. You know, and I remember there was actually they kind of make you think there's this twist, and then there's another twist. And I was like, okay, well that was kind of cool. I don't know why we kind of spent all the time doing this, and then we had this over here with this guy. But there was some emotion by the end, and it worked. Even though Ed Now didn't really do a whole lot. Like I said, it was just like they were guest starring in someone else's movie, which is kind of a problem I think with a lot of these anime spin-off films. But I mean, I guess technically it was a better put together story than The Conqueror of the Shambhala, which ended the first series. But that one was at least more interesting. Like you had to watch it to complete the show, whereas this one was just a separate thing that looks like it could have been stretched out over a couple episodes. But it was decent. It was all right. I liked it, I guess, but I don't know if I'd ever watch it again. But I'm going to put an article about that if you guys want to hear more about it. But yeah, that was that. I think a couple more people are joining in. Yeah, please, we're doing a Q&A. Feel free to send in questions about anime and comics, movies, games, whatever. And I'm just going to talk about random stuff until people send questions. But please like, share, subscribe if you haven't. We talk about cool things on here some of the time. Okay, I'm getting some more. A lot of. Let's see. All right, here's another question. How come there aren't many writers that use spiritual influence of good and evil, like angels and demons, channeling the energies of influence on someone's mind? That's an interesting question. I think the answer would probably be these days. People, I guess, are a little more. I want to say they're a little open-minded to different concepts, but back in the day, I think especially with Hollywood, there was a strong influence of, the God and devil are everywhere. But now we're trying to be politically correct, and I think that it might be harder to market a story where you've definitely got, this Christian backstory with, the devil and angels kind of automatically influencing other people to do other things. I think it's interesting, and it definitely exists. I mean, I've seen movies and comics and stuff where that does come up, plenty of times, but I think they aren't often as blatant about it just because it might be harder to market it. But I mean, people do write about it. They just might not be as obvious, but there's plenty of stories that use that basic motif. But that is an interesting question. We've been watching Naruto Part 1 fights. I actually, I've been hearing Boruto is actually pretty good, and it's making some people mad because they're like, they're actually like, man, we wanted Naruto to end, and they want to hate on this thing, but it's actually good. I'm like, well, that's cool. No, that's really cool. I'm actually kind of curious about Boruto because I haven't checked out any of it. But as far as Naruto Part 1 had some really good fights early on. I mean, I remember, the Chunin exams were really cool. I always thought that the fight, Rock Lee Gaara fight, of course, is good, and of course, Naruto versus Gaara, and that that final culmination between Naruto and Sasuke, and I remember it was the third Hokage versus Orochimaru. There was a lot of really good fights early on in Naruto. I mean, Naruto had some pretty awesome fights, some pretty cool ones, definitely. But yeah, I haven't read those or watched those in a while. But yeah, old Naruto was pretty good, definitely. Comics. Hey man, comics, dude. Like the cool thing about comics is it's like a lot of franchises, like Star Trek or Doctor Who or Gundam. It seems really intimidating because there's all this stuff that's just kind of thrown at you. But the cool thing about American superhero comics that are ongoing is they seem intimidating, but it's not quite that hard to get into because these are ongoing stories. But most of them, if they're well done, and sometimes aren't, they're made so that you can pick up an issue, and usually there'll be a basic description of who the hero is, here are the people in his life, here's how he got his powers, his origin, here's what's been going on with him lately, and here's the storyline he's in now, which might be like issue 2 of a 5-issue story, but you can go ahead and find that online if you need to. But what I'd recommend doing is, you could probably go to some websites, or you could even ask me if you want to, recommend some good stories to get into. And you pick an era, you pick an author that was writing some comics, and you track down some of his trades, like a graphic novel collection. They've got tons of them. If you go to, if you look online, I'm sure you can go to a Barnes & Noble or Books A Million, or download them on Kindle and just look up a storyline that's all collected, read one or two of them, see if you like it, and then you can just pick up selected ones if you don't want to follow it ongoing. And if you do, you can just keep going at the line it is at the moment. But yeah, that's one way to do it. Definitely. So yeah, like just pick a hero that you like, look for some recommended stories, and try to read one or two of them. Oh, the ninja missions. Okay, gotcha. Oh yeah. Well, I honestly, maybe that's why people like Boruto, is because just kind of doing the same thing again. It's very likely. Oh man, very. Well, I mean that makes sense, but because people just want more Naruto, and they couldn't let it breathe. And I understand being a fan of some of these shows. I like it when things come back, like Dragon Ball Super, obviously, but Naruto really, like, it ended, and then immediately, immediately Boruto came out, and I guess that movie was a success, and it just blew up. It just blew up, and that's cool. But Barnes and Noble might like it. So if it's insane, as long as you've got your target audience, man, just go for it. I mean, heck, I mean, it's a cool concept, at least. But yeah, I don't know, guys. Any other questions you want to throw at me? Because we might cut this kind of short. Because unless we can get more people in here. Because I think I got most of the new stuff out that I wanted to talk about. I don't know if you guys have been watching Samurai Jack at all, but Samurai Jack's been pretty good. It's been pretty good. Yeah, I tried to watch the most recent episode, but it was like couldn't buffer for some reason. I was like, come on. But yeah, I saw the last one with him and him and the girl stuck in that weird like spaceship prison. That was really cool. I liked the monster, the weird like bug unified creature thing. It was pretty fun. At first, I was like, yeah, I don't know if we really need a romance for Jack, but they made it work. I thought it was pretty cool, actually. I liked it. Boruto is what if Goten was Goku's first son. Wouldn't have been as cool. Do people? I mean, I guess Goten has fans, but he's literally Goku, but less impressive. I mean, he's kind of dumb. He's kind of dumb, man. I know. Maybe I know that there's going to be some Goten fan that I'm going to offend, but like of all the characters in Dragon Ball, like Goten's like at the bottom for me. He's just the one character you could just throw away, and I wouldn't care about him. I just don't care about Goten at all. At all. He's pointless. I remember when he turned Super Saiyan as like a baby, and Gohan got so pissed, and I was like, that's just so irritating. It makes no sense. But anyway, Samurai Jack is ending in 2 hours. I don't know, man. How are they going to cram all this awesomeness, the fight with Aku? Like, I want more. I want more. But, it's just, man, it sucks. Yeah, I don't know how they're going to do it. I was thinking of that because, I mean, it just feels like they've just been building this up. And maybe they're just going to see how well it does, and they'll give us another season. That is possible. That's what I'm thinking is going to happen, honestly. But, that's if we're lucky. But, it's been a good run, though, for sure. So, I hope we get more. But if this is all we got, it was still really awesome. Definitely. Now and then, here and there. Yeah, that was a name I remember saw once. Evil mean things. Look, are pretty bad in an evil sense. Well, yeah, I mean, if they're evil, they're going to do evil things to the main character, I'd imagine. So that does make sense. But, any last minute stuff here? Well, it seems to me like not a lot of people are on right now, but I hadn't done this in a while, so I'm pretty tired too, to be honest. So maybe at some point later on we'll try to do this again. But oh, that's the icon you made. Look at this. But yeah, guys, I'm gonna wrap it up. You got any last minute questions? Send it in, and we'll try to do this again. So everybody, till next time, just stay magical. Peace.